Well, yeah, I was. I still remember the first time I saw the movie, and it moved me seeing it, the animated feature, and then I was sort of late to the game to see the theatrical production, and when I finally did, I was like, oh, I get it. I get what all of the fuss is about. This is such an amazing experience, not just a theatrical experience, but it was really kind of a life-shaping experience.
The Lion King is a global phenomenon. I mean, you got countries such as London, Hamburg, Tokyo taking part. What's it like to be part of a huge show like this?
I have to pinch myself. It's kind of hard to imagine. We do the show pretty much all year round, and some of us have been doing it. I'm going on my fifth year. There are times where you can be tired or jet lagged or whatever, and all you have to do is walk through the crowd on any given night, and you're instantly given all the energy you need to do it. You're like, oh wait, yes, this is exactly why I'm here, is to be able to tell this story to these folks.
And this is a very energetic show as well.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's we travel with a physical therapist who is there to diagnose problems, to prevent problems, to sort of iron out any sort of tweaks you might have, muscular or otherwise. But it definitely is very active.
Now, Nick, you play Timone on the show. How did you get the part?
It's kind of a funny story. I was working for a casting director in New York, the casting director for Lion King, but I was doing a lot of their non-musical auditions. And one day they said, hey, could you help us out with these Lion King auditions? And I thought, yeah, that'd be great. And I started to, do some of the auditions, and the casting director said, hey, let's just figure out if this is something that you'd be interested in too, because, I think they might be interested in you, and I would just want to make sure that this is something that suits you or works. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. But it was kind of off the radar. I hadn't really imagined auditioning for it, just because I didn't really consider myself a sort of a musical theater performer, as it were. And as the months went on of auditions, it sort of became clear that Timone was maybe a role I could do well, and that maybe the tour needed a Timone, and it sort of worked out at the end. The last day, Julie was there, and I got to audition for her as well as auditioning, reading for everybody else who was auditioning. So, yeah, and it just it sort of fell into place. It was kind of a great moment.
Nick Cordileone from The Lion King on the show. Nick, the cast came at the right time to Edmonton. So many festivals in and around the city. Have you guys went and experienced anything Edmonton has to offer yet?
A little bit of Edmonton, but we also, I just got back. I took a few days off, and we went to Banff and the surrounding areas around there. So now I have the rest of these 3 weeks to explore a little bit more locally.
You go to Calgary next, San Jose, Costa Mesa, and Denver. Does the road take a toll on your cast and crew over time?
It's a challenge, but like I said, the rewards are such that, we really become, let alone getting to learn each of these cities and get to experience everything that every place that we go has to offer. We also sort of become this family because we're this sort of moving city, and there's close to 200 of us, and all of our families, people who travel with young children and people who have spouses on the road. We all sort of get to form this community, and we get to marry our community to whatever community we're visiting, and that really does feed us in a way that's it's unlike anything else.
Now, The Lion King, Nick, draws upon diverse influences from around the world, including Balinese puppetry and African music and mask making. A lot of work goes into this production.
Yeah, absolutely. We have we're so fortunate too to have experts in every field. We travel with our puppet team and our wardrobe and makeup, and all of these folks are just experts in maintaining the integrity of the show and the artistry of the masks, and making sure that my puppet, which is this 3-foot bunraku, puppet stays, that his skeleton is all perfectly working and functioning, and the intricate beadwork on some of these corsets that we get to wear, and the silks all hand dyed, hand stitched. It's such a sort of blending of all these art forms, and I think that is why it speaks to so many different cultures.
Well, Nick, big fan of The Lion King. Thanks so much for you and your cast for coming to Edmonton and putting on such a great show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that.